Good day, my name is Angelo. This is Nation Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. How have we been? As for we over here, we'll be doing perfectly alright. Yes, without much ado, let me delve to the matter at hand. Festus Keyamo, senior advocate of Nigeria, has been once more given the mandate to chair the Ministry of Aviation. This is possibly to clear the cataracts, the rapids and cataracts that have been existent in the aviation sector for a long while now. This is also to serve as a sort of revitalization process for the aviation sector and to bring back the dignity that the Nigerian aviation sector and industry has had over time. And finally, and most importantly, it is to clear out the bad eggs and to maybe cleanse the aviation sector of, already contaminated civil servants that have over time been sent there and have garnered experience in siphoning public funds for personal use. One question is, can Festus Keyamo undertake this responsibility without bias? The aviation sector is one sector in Nigeria that has tempting offers, especially the budget, and because it is an aviation sector that can be manipulated, you tend to see that lots of high-level corruption activities and money laundering operations take place in such sectors. To that effect, I will be revealing how the former Minister of Aviation, Mrs. Stella Odua, was arraigned and then rearraigned. She was arraigned further, first of all, and then she was rearrested and rearraigned this year, 2023, recently, by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. And you will have details of her crime and how much she allegedly siphoned from the aviation sector. Of course, she was former Minister of Aviation. You will know the staff of the Ministry of Aviation that got indicted with her and are facing the recent charge of some amounts of money. So we will say we are going to be exposing how the former Minister of Aviation, Stella Odua, and others allegedly siphoned over 5 billion naira as the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission arraigned staff of Ministry of Aviation. Lots of staff got involved and implicated as a result of the misdeeds and the malfeasance of Mrs. Stella Odua. 3 years after a charge was filed, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has gone further to arraign a former aviation minister, Stella Odua, her ex-aide, Gloria Odita, and 7 others over an alleged 5 billion naira fraud. They were arraigned before an Abuja Federal High Court, presided by Justice Inyang Ekwo, for money laundering, conspiracy, and maintaining anonymous bank accounts. The 25-count charge was read to them by an official of the court. Each defendant entered a not guilty plea. Other defendants include Chukwuma Irene Chinyere, Nwosu Emmanuel Nnamdi, Global Offshore and Marine Limited, Tip Top Global Resources Limited, Crystal Televisions Limited, China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation CCECC, Nigeria Limited, and Sabora International Limited. The EFCC alleged that Odua misused government funds worth an estimated 5 billion naira while serving as a minister. The charge marked FHC/ABJ/CR/316/2020 was first filed in 2020. The court mandated that the prosecution of Odua and others accused of laundering nearly 5 billion naira be handled by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi. Justice Ekwo gave the order after Odua and the other defendants were arraigned before him by the EFCC recently. The judge claimed that the controversy surrounding the case's prosecution played a role in his decision to assign the case to the AGF. To ensure thorough prosecution of the accused, he instructed the EFCC to transmit the case file to the AGF's office. The case was postponed until sometime next month. Between 2021 and 2023, the case was repeatedly set for arraignment, but it was postponed for several reasons. In February 2014, former President Goodluck Jonathan sacked Odua as Minister of Aviation alongside 3 other members of her cabinet. Stella Odua's sack did not come as a surprise, as her approval for the purchase of 2 bulletproof cars worth 255 million naira caused public outrage at that time, with many Nigerians calling for her removal and prosecution. The House of Representatives approved the recommendation by its Aviation Committee asking for her removal following the controversial purchase of 2 armored vehicles at an inflated price of 255 million naira. Stella Odua had maintained she did nothing wrong, as funding for the cars, made available by First Bank, was arranged to comply with her spending limit and relevant laws. According to her, she said the purchase was not done in her name. The minister was also accused of forging her certificates. Right, I keep on asking myself, why do people who are Nigerians, who share in this pain of the sort of economic crunch we found ourselves in, the same pain of hiking fuel pump price, the same pain of a low standard of living, the same pain of unemployment, insecurity, and every other problem Nigeria is facing right now. But these same people come up to, siphon public funds in one piece with no remorse whatsoever, right? And then someone will tell me these people are worthy of holding public offices. Not really. I doubt to a very large degree if these people are supposed to be allowed to hold public offices, all right? We've seen lots of politicians who have been given the opportunity to serve the people in one way or the other, but they end up, screwing their chances by laundering and siphoning billions of naira just at the slightest given opportunity. So Stella Odua didn't last in her time to serve the country, and that is what has landed her in this mess. I would say categorically that the regime or the administration of Stella Odua as Minister of Aviation was not the end of corrupt practices in the Ministry of Aviation. We saw Hadi Sirika, the next aviation minister who came during the time of President Muhammadu Buhari, and how much he laundered from the Ministry of Aviation to the extent of getting Nigeria a fake flight. That particular update trended. I even shared the updates on this same platform. So we wouldn't talk much on what Mrs. Stella Odua has done. She will face the music as time unfolds. Now I'm going to be speaking next on the conduct of the judiciary in the just concluded 2023 general elections. Now, categorically, when you look or when you observe, the judiciary is actually meant to be the last hope of the common man. All right, but Nigerians actually need to feel and witness justice being served, and transparency should be at its peak. When I say it should be at its peak, I mean transparency should be the watchword of the judiciary, of course, as they must purge themselves of alleged allegations of corruption over time. All right, I have somebody, Nelson Olanipekun. Nelson Olanipekun is a team lead of the Citizens Gravel. All right, he has also been involved in political analysis over time, and he holds the view that judges, especially the whole judiciary, because of the lack of confidence they have piled up on themselves, the lack of confidence they've piled up on themselves for a very long while now, by delivering wrong judgments in different courts, especially the Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal and the Supreme Court respectively. The judiciary need to show more a commitment to their jobs in order to show Nigerians how competent they are. This is like to reignite the hope people once had in the judiciary.
I think a lot needs to be done. Couple of years ago, a survey was done, and Nigerian confidence in the judiciary was at 68%. But at 2022, that survey was done in 2020, and at 2022, another survey was done, and it has reduced to 72%. Now, this is 2023. With what has happened during the election, with different controversial judgments, we've all seen that the confidence level in judiciary has further dwindled, which has raised the question, is the judiciary really protecting an average person in the streets? The judiciary is meant to be the last hope of the common man. It's meant to, when justice is passed in our courts, you are expected to see justice. You shouldn't just read it. People should feel that justice has been done and not just hear it. But it's far-fetched from what you see on the ground. There are lots of allegations of corruption. Even the AGF just said it. People buy their way into the judiciary to compromise the justice system. And that is why it's very imperative for Nigerians at this moment, at this critical moment of our democracy, to watch the judiciary. Who is watching the watchers? No one. And that is why at Citizen Gavel, we're trying to pull a coalition of Nigerians together to keep eyes on the judiciary, because it's the last belt from anarchy. Once the judiciary fails, everybody starts to carry harm. Why is at the moment, why is the picking up arms and clubbing people when they commit crime jungle justice? Why is it a criminal offense? It's because if people do not put that justice architecture in place, if it fails, everybody now starts to fight, everybody starts to break bottle to protect their own interests, to assert their right. And that is why we really, really need judiciary at this moment to rise and really purge itself of any form of failure, of allegations of corruptions and all that. So and that's one of the reasons why we are here, to get Nigerians to rise to that place where you are no longer you are not just holding the executive accountable, but you need to also hold the judiciary accountable at this moment, especially with the election petition going on and all that. A lot of times people, you see that they come to, once the election is done, the people come to the judiciary, to the election tribunal, to try to compromise the judges, and there have been allegations of that, trying to compromise the justice. You can see what happened in Kano State, where the decision is still, you still don't really know where it stands at the moment, because some factions are saying that NNPP won and some factions are saying that the other person won. But it does not improve the confidence that we should have in our judiciary at this moment.
Yeah, that was Nelson Olanipekun there. Yeah, I will tell you that just few Nigerians know this part of the truth about the judiciary. All right, the judiciary is one arm of government that seems to be untouchable. All right, of course, I am also of the opinion that the executives should not be mandated with the duty of appointing the judiciary, because the judicial system in a country as vast as Nigeria, filled with lots of ethnic groups, and that almost has more than one religion to practice, then a very, very crucial sector like the judiciary should exist on its own independently, without devoid of appointments from the executives. Because I always say that when the executives appoint members of the judiciary for positions, that means it's going to be invariable for the members of that same judiciary appointed by the executives to sway and to play ball with their with whoever has appointed them into office. That is what it should play out. All right, if you notice the way the Nigerian politics has been going, hence the reason why the judiciary should exist, independently, and perform its activities devoid of any backup from the executives. Finally, I'm going to touch a bit about issues bothering the Niger Delta in the south region of Nigeria. All right. Now, the truth is, the federal government hasn't really done enough to, in the past, to address the issues of the Niger Delta, even after, establishing the NDDC, the Niger Delta Development Commission, and its scheme. All right. If you notice, according to different exposés made available in the public space, little funds have been allocated to this sector, especially during different presidential or different federal governments over time. All right, and the truth is, the sector has not really lived up to expectations because its leaders have allegedly shared over time the funds that have been sent to the Niger Delta, for its revitalization and its upgrade in all ramifications. All right, so no federal government was actually shying away from helping out in the south, but its leaders are actually responsible for the the lack of even distribution of these funds, all right, to various sectors in the Niger Delta. Hence the reason why Bola Tinubu has been called upon to prioritize the issues from the south. I have IPMAN controller for anti-pipeline vandalism and illegal bunkering, Musa Saidu, to give brief analysis on this particular issue. Please stay tuned.
No, the responsible listed. What I'm saying is that the federal government didn't do enough to address the problem of Niger Delta. Let us be realistic. And the little one that was sent to Niger Delta was shared by the leaders of Niger Delta. We have NDDC, we have Amnesty, we have Niger Delta Ministry, we have state allocation. Listen, and there's one thing that is rearing its head now, especially in Rivers State. You see, the peace in Rivers State should be maintained, because as it is today, if what is going on politically in Rivers State, explode, then it will affect the whole Niger Delta. It will affect the whole Niger Delta. So federal government should be careful, especially a statement that I had my brother, my senior brother, Dr. Ganduje, made, that is going to capture the Rivers State for APC. I don't know that when will be. Please, in capture, what I know about capture is war. In democracy, there is no capture. Though is a PhD holder, as he said. So, and any appointment that federal government wants to do in respect of Niger Delta, it should consult the governors. Because this, rivalry, this competition between the federal appointees and the governors is causing a lot of things in Niger Delta. It's setting Niger Delta very backward. When the national appointees come, they don't have any business with the governors. Rather, they will go and create their own something, creating problem in Niger Delta. So I think it's President Tinubu came to address the problems of this country, and we still believe in him. Please, you should look at Niger Delta issue very well. Niger Delta, I'm telling you, madam, as it was, that's what it is today. There's no change. East West Road, come and see. Up to today, over 25 years. And how much was, appropriated to build the East West Road? How much? How much was appropriated since the inception of the NDDC? Where is the money? How much was appropriated, for this amnesty? Where is the money? So the Niger Delta people too should blame their own leaders.
Right, welcome back. That was Musa Saidu. He of course, he's in the sector. Yes, I told you earlier that he's the IPMAN controller for anti-pipeline vandalism and illegal bunkering. So he's in the sector. He knows what is happening, right? And when he says, or when he makes such statements, he should know where the shoe pinches most. So I wouldn't delve much into that issue. We'll just call on the federal government to quickly, delve into or make a priority, or one of the priorities, the matters of the South. Please don't forget to like, share our videos, watch till the end. If you're watching me for the first time, tap the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you get to see me promptly when I drop a new update. Do this for us to serve you better. See you next time. Bye.